Uh,
Ribbons of the what?
I,
Heavenly curtains.
I got this new idea for a project, the curtains of heaven done in color.
Oh, wow, that's never been done before.
I think this is just one of those standard
It is, yeah.
backgrounds, but it's kind of cool.
Oh, it's
A lot
really
cooler
cool.
than your boring still images in black and white. I don't know where you got that
That's why I put this color one up.
stupid idea.
I love this image. Hey, you know what? Recently, folks, I was so thrilled with an image I'll use my language that I received, right? I was taken by, and I knew exactly when I tripped the shutter what I would need to do to make the image conform with what I was feeling and seeing in the moment. Not with my eyes that we've been talking about, but this is not as easy for me, folks, as it is for Cole. Cole really can be in that place, see something, and know what it's going to look like. Not every little detail and dust spot and all that. Excuse me, but he has a good idea. And this one, same thing. So I shared it with Cole, and let me share that now. I shared it with Cole, and he wrote back and he said, "My gosh, you finally created another, meaning it's only my second one, image, that I'm jealous of." So I want to just start the discussion with that. What was an interesting response from him. Cole, just share a little bit about your thoughts and what you really meant by that.
Well, I talk a lot about photographic celibacy and why I do it. One of the reasons is that I don't want to be influenced by what others are doing.
Yeah,
Another is I don't want to see an idea and then not be able to pursue it because I would just be then copying
yeah,
you. It would be what I would call dishonest work. But there's a third reason. Sometimes I'll look at an image and I just get so jealous that I didn't see that. I would have loved to have had created that image. It is just a great image. And so there's a jealousy. It's petty, it's childish, but it's real.
yeah.
I'm just
Human.
jealous of that image.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
human.
so, but I think what was interesting is that when you first showed me the original shot, this looks different than the original shot. And that's good, I think.
Yeah. So
You manipulated it, which is, I think, high praise for a fine art photographer. If you were just a documentary photographer, of course, that would be the kiss of death. You would be excommunicated for having manipulated the image.
written up by the rules police.
Yep.
Well, and you're right, and this goes back to, and hopefully illustrative of the process that Cole and I are trying to help others with our vision retreat that we do, and even on our tours that we do together. Our language is kind of the same. There were other trees in the scene. One was overlapping. There was one to the right, and it just didn't fit right for me. So I actually removed a tree, and then I removed an intertwining tree with another one. And heavens forbid, Cole, I know I'll get a demerit for this, but I actually recropped it after I took it into a 4x5 shape because it felt better. Uh, after the fact. But when I saw this, the background was certainly dark. I mean, that's what caught my attention, a dark background in shadow, and then backlighting those dead. I think those are conifers up there of some sort, right? I'm sorry,
Needle kill
evergreens. Yeah,
trees. Yeah.
yeah, and so that's what took me, if you will. I was taken by that, but I knew I was going to have to do a lot of work to darken that background to be what I saw with my vision, not with my eyes. My eyes, if I showed you the raw file on this, it's much brighter than that. But I needed to separate that. And I knew that the second I tripped that shutter. And I knew the second I tripped the shutter that that one tree on the right didn't fit. It was in the wrong place and all that. So I was using my vision, and that doesn't always happen for me. So that's why part of the reason I'm so happy with this is number one that I saw it. you know, there was other people there with me. Nobody else, I don't think, has this image. Didn't see that. So that's me, my own vision finding something without anybody else's influence. And then secondly, knowing exactly what I wanted to do with that image is not always something I'm good at doing, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and I love that you've maintained just a smidgen of detail on that dark, dark background.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you, I'm not going to say what it is, but there's something there, one small thing that bothers me.
Uh-huh.
And so I would ask you if you've gone back and let that sit and go back and look at it, let it
Probably
sit, go
not
back.
enough, but I have one. Can you see my pointer
Yes.
over here?
That's not what's bothering me, but
Okay.
I don't want to say,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
and it may not bother you.
Yeah.
And that's why I never think that, I talked a lot with people over my last weekend at the studio tour about self-critiquing
Right.
and how, in fact, you and I were thinking of doing for Out of Chicago Live this next February,
Right.
a non-critique critique session.
Right.
Because it's easy to say, John, if it were me, I would, or have you noticed this? But it's better that you discover those things. And you may not discover them because they're not important to you.
Sure.
And that's the value of self-critiquing.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you haven't pointed it out, because as I'm looking through it now, so I'll answer one of your questions. No, I didn't do what you do. I was so excited. I wanted to share it right away. But you're right, there's great value, because as I sit here longer, I see two things that I probably would maybe address. Not probably, I will go back and address and make my final slightly different.
Another thought that came up when you were talking about as you stood there and you saw the scene, we had a small epiphany, at least I did during the last vision retreat. We had one gentleman, Tom, who just could not get his head around vision. And I remember being there back in 2002, just not understanding, is this like a religious vision? Is it some kind of a spiritual thing where something's going on and you're and you're seeing the image? And I, in a description, I use the word imagination, and he goes, that word I can relate to.
Yeah.
So as you stood there, you imagined, or you visualized, or you saw in your mind's eye image, what it was going to be, because you knew what you loved, you knew how you wanted it to be.
Right. Those are synonymous.
Word.
Yep, they're all synonymous.
Imagination.
Choose the one that makes sense to you, works for you.
Yeah. Your voice, another word.
Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Anyway, a gorgeous image.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next episode, where we will both probably not have color images.